Hey guys, how are you doing out there? My name is Jason. This is my buddy Cecil, Mr. Wrestling number 4.
Hey, thank you.
All right, sure, why not? So we're going to talk some wrestling today. We just finished watching Wrestlemania, the 7.5 hour extravaganza that it was, and we're going to go over that. But before we do that, you want to talk maybe some wrestling that happened this weekend?
Sure. Did you want to start with the United We Stand Impact?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go over that? Let's just run down that really quick, just the card really quick.
Well, the Impact had the X Division match that had Johnny Impact in it. Instead of him being in the Team Lucha Underground and Team Impact, he ended up beating the 5 other competitors from multiple different ones, AAA, Lucha, and MLW.
Mm-hmm.
So now he gets a chance for a future heavyweight title in case of chance he loses it.
Right.
Covering his bets.
All right. Good there.
We also did have Taya in the 4-way match against Rosemary, Katie Forbes from an outside organization.
Yeah.
And the other opponent was her former number 1 contender, Jordan Grace.
Right.
Which she did pin Katie Forbes after Grace hit her with her finishing maneuver to retain her belt.
Okay.
LAX did face the MLW promotion Dorados, which is Low Key and the Sicario Ricky Martinez, which they defeat them soundly in that match. Rich Swann faced Flamita, I believe is how you say his name, from AAA to retain his X Division title and all that. We also saw a hardcore Monster Balls match against Sami Callihan and Jimmy Havoc, in which Sami Callihan defeated Havoc by pile driving him through a steel chair.
Oh, that was for something.
Yes. The last match was the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and his brother Ray Phoenix. They went against RVD and the ageless Sabu.
It would seem like that.
Which, that match wasn't a super long one, but you saw the Lucha Brothers come out and they finished by, I believe it was, beating RVD with the combination move of the Spike Cradle Pile Driver.
Sounds wicked.
From what I hear, some of the matches were pretty good. A couple others were pretty average.
All right, cool. Before we get into the NXT TakeOver talk, do you feel there's anything else that maybe we need to go over? We haven't watched the MLW Battle Riot yet. Anything else? We're going to do TakeOver talk before we do the Ring of Honor talk. So we watched TakeOver, Friday night. It was, of course they always put on a clinic. Started out with, Ricochet and
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
The War Raiders.
Taking on the War Raiders. And you know what? War Raiders seem to impress me all the time I watch them.
Oh, I've watched the War Raiders for quite a while, back in when they were in other organizations and stuff like that. And I don't get surprised very often by these guys because I've seen them do such crazy things for being such big men, especially Hanson himself.
Boy, yeah, the stuff Hanson was pulling off Friday night was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Hanson when he was in a young, like a Lions Cup kind of thing, a Ring of Honor. And when I saw that guy, I was like very impressed because he did, the handspring off of the ropes kind of stuff. And, there's a reason why he won that year because he showed he was that impressive for being just being that big.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it had they kept the name War Machine. But maybe there was something going on with Marvel. Yeah, I mean, WWE always wants to trademark their own stuff.
It's true. Maybe, perhaps, with that kind of issue of that character's name, probably.
Maybe they just wanted to avoid it altogether. Yeah. And we knew going into this, Ricochet and Aleister were going up to the main roster, so everybody kind of figured War Machine was going over, and they did.
Yeah.
And they retained the tag team titles, which is good. They need a run with them. They really haven't done anything much yet since they've won. So, the number 2 match. Do you remember what was the number 2 match?
The number 2 match, what was that? That was,
Because there was 5 matches. There was the women's, there was Pete Dunne, there was Johnny Gargano, but what was the...
I believe it might have been the ladies' 4-way. The one where it was Shayna Baszler against Bianca Belair, and also the known as the Sky Pirates, Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
But before we get into that, there was the little battle, the matter of Matt Riddle. Taking on
that would be the Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream for the North American title. So Matt Riddle, I dig Matt Riddle, former MMA guy.
Yes.
He comes in with the flip flops. He's the ultimate bro. I like the whole vibe he gives off. I really like that kind of, surfer stoner type of Matthew McConaughey like type of character. I think it works out good. I think he does it really good. Velveteen Dream came out to a great entrance, Statue of Liberty, real pomp and circumstance, all of that you'd expect from the wrestler. The match itself, I don't know. Matt Riddle, he gets kind of aggressive in that ring. I kind of like the way he kind of flares up, and he'll do the laid back thing, but then once the bell rings, he can get going. And I really dig that. But Velveteen Dream, he's that type of wrestler that he can do those comebacks, and that's exactly what happened in this match. Riddle kind of had him, he had him in his hold, and Velveteen Dream kind of wrapped him up, kind of a la Bret Hart WrestleMania 8 with Roddy Piper. Had him in a submission hold, and then kind of just rolled him up and locked him down.
Yeah.
Any kind of points in this match that maybe impressed you, or was kind of it was a match. It was a good match. It showed that Matt Riddle, could really be a force. But I thought honestly that Velveteen Dream was going to lose because he's due for the main roster any day.
Yeah.
He's going to go up. Whether they use him correctly or not, we don't know. But Matt Riddle did not beat Velveteen. Velveteen retained the title.
Yes, he did. Matt Riddle, I want to say out of a lot of the guys who came over from another sport, such as MMA, I think he has been the most polished and most talented of the guys that I've seen. I mean, he's got the enthusiasm, he's got the charisma, he knows his wrestling.
Yeah, definitely.
And one little mistake from a guy who's had, obviously, a few more years in the ring, unlike Velveteen Dream, who's still a very young fellow and a lot of time left in his career.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched Matt Riddle from back when he was in some other organizations, even a few matches overseas, over in the English area. But one little mistake by letting that leg scissor go, getting that roll up,
getting locked in.
Everybody can make a mistake during a match, and Velveteen just managed to.
And he'll learn from that. But there's big future for Matt Riddle. I see him being the NXT champion, no doubt.
Oh, there's also a possibility for that, definitely.
So now we'll get into the women's match.
For the ladies' match, it was a very good match. It seemed that...
Who were the competitors again?
It was Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane, who've been tag teaming a lot lately, and the champ, Shayna Baszler.
And Shayna Baszler.
Another gal who...
and another surprise. Shayna retains.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to. I mean, all four of those competitors have shown and proven themselves to be very good contenders, very viable champion contender types.
Again, you're expecting all these people to go up to the main roster. You're thinking with the shakedown, coming up here.
Well, there's been lots of rumors and talks about Shayna Baszler and some of those gals and all that possibly going up, her gal pals of the female horseman MMA and. But who knows? I mean, they might hold off because they have brought in a few new ladies up there, and with the combinations of possible tag matches for the ladies, and then now the unification of both the female belts and stuff, they might hold off just a little bit because they don't want to empty the pot of NXT.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
That would be a very bad...
I mean, besides those four ladies, you only got like a couple others that have really...
There's some that have some experience, and then there's some that are still pretty young and still getting their way. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Shayna Baszler retains. Talking about the match itself, the high spots, what you expect from especially Shirai, and then Bianca Belair. You have those spots with her hair.
Yeah,
some kind of creative spots there. One where they wrapped it around the post there.
Yeah,
she kind of pulled it. Shayna Baszler did that, I believe.
Yeah, she had a very impressive spot there when she picked up both Kairi Sane and Io Shirai and had them in a bit of a torture rack kind of maneuver. She did her finisher, which allowed Shayna Baszler to come in and put on her basically a sleeper clutch, similar to that of Joe's, to be able to take advantage.
She puts it on tight too. She really puts it on real.
She really does.
Shayna Baszler, she's very real. When she goes up to the main roster, hopefully they'll treat her like a killer. They'll sell her like that, like a Samoa Joe. They'll do her right.
She's definitely
especially if Ron is leaving to do this family thing. They need someone to replace her that's kind of a dominator.
And I think she'd fit that role just fine. She'd fill those shoes without any hesitation or any chance of it failing.
Sure. So, all right, moving on. Pete Dunne versus Walter. We got the UK Championship at stake here. Walter, what an intimidator. This man from Austria, with the what appears to be a unibrow that he shaves. It's quite thick.
Well, he is a big fellow, and there's no way I would make that statement at him.
But he's very old-fashioned big, too.
He is.
Just a thick man. You know what I mean? He has a wrestler's body, like he is
definitely a mountain of a man.
Yeah. So I dig Walter. I dig the whole thing. He comes out with the coat, has the Ring General slogan on his tights.
Yes.
Has that confidence. Those chops are unbelievable. It feels like he's penetrating your skin with them. It's very, very devastating. And of course, everybody knows Pete Dunne had massive record. What is this?
Over 700 days.
Over 700 days, like about 30 days shy of 2 years. So, going into this match, people were kind of like, yeah, it's due. It's time. We're going to probably see Walter go over. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. Walter did go over, but what a match. The ring psychology in this match was unbelievable. Pete Dunne working over the fingers, working over the limbs.
He's a master of the joint
manipulation. Walter with the chops and just breaking down. It was unbelievable.
It's definitely a candidate for match of the year when it comes up so far this year. These guys showed that British wrestling has come very far. It had been very quiet for a very long time, but guys like this who go in and they show what they can do and show that they have the abilities, the skill, and the know-how, and they prove that all the guys coming over from the pond and all that, they're not to be taken lightly. They know their skills, they know their abilities, and they know how to wrestle.
Yeah, really, it's just go check it out for yourself. Basically, there's not enough we could say about this match to really cover it. Like it should be covered in the time that we're allotted here, because I could go in, I could discuss this match for 20 minutes. It's just, believe us, it is a match of the year candidate. Go check it out. Definitely best match of the weekend.
I'd have to say definitely in the top 5 for sure.
Sure. So then moving on to the main event, we got Johnny Gargano. We got Adam Cole, baby, and it's for the vacant title because of what happened to Ciampa, unfortunately, with his neck. So, Adam Cole won was it a Battle Royal or was it just a tournament?
I believe Adam Cole did a 4-way.
He did a 4-way match. Okay, that's what it was.
A 4-way match with Ricochet, Aleister Black, and Velveteen Dream, I believe it was the 4th match.
Okay, so he went over, and then Johnny, of course, Johnny's been chasing his championship forever. This is going to be the culmination of this feud that's been going on for 2 years. Best feud of the year. Unfortunately, again, the Ciampa thing happened. Match was great, but it's just what you'd expect. A lot of high flying, a lot of diving, but then, a lot of working around. Johnny Gargano comes out with an Iron Man inspired outfit that I thought was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
He always comes out with those new outfits. That's like his thing for the NXT thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas sometimes people have the entrances, Gargano's is a different outfit. And then Adam Cole, with his entourage, with his guys, and, anything about this match in particular that stood out? And nothing really stood out for me. And I think it's because we wanted Ciampa and Gargano so much, even though it was a match with Adam Cole and he's over like Rover. It was kind of like, bittersweet. But the ending, I guess, kind of made up for it. Because after Gargano beats Adam Cole, even though I didn't like the way he made Undisputed Era kind of look like chumps. They all came out and he kind of took, Well, but being that as it is, Gargano had to go over. That's what the story was. Ciampa comes out of his neck brace.
Yeah.
After the wife, what's Gargano's wife's name again? I forget.
Candice LeRae.
All right, Candice LeRae, who's also a talent. She comes out and congratulates Johnny, and then Ciampa comes out at the very end, and they all hug, and it was really great. So it ended really nice. The NXT event, would you say it's one of the better ones, or would you just say it's like to be expected? It's good, and it's good because it's NXT TakeOver.
The NXT TakeOver New York, I definitely would say it lived up to all the past ones. It did a fine job. It had its top matches. It had the occasional one little lull because you put such a great first match like that tag team one, and then you go to another one, and you want it to live up to being better, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. But even if that dips just slightly for a moment,
right,
the overall is always really good. Even the championship match, the 2 out of 3 falls. Yes, sometimes the crowd, or it might not get you as much because you know that there's 2 more. It's not just one and done.
Yeah.
But it shows what those guys are willing to do, how far they're willing to do, and to see if maybe they're going to pull something new out that maybe you haven't seen before.
Right.
But otherwise, it's just as good as the NXT Phoenix that we went to.
Yeah, just as good as any other takeover. They're just always a winner. So definitely go check it out. All right, cool. Next up, we're going to be discussing Wrestlemania and that 7.5 hour thing we just saw. All right, so Wrestlemania. So just ended again. Started at 2 o'clock out here in Arizona with the pre-show. And first match, we're just going to get right into it, folks, because there's a lot of matches. First match, Tony Nese versus
Buddy Murphy
for the Cruiserweight Championship, the 205 Championship. We kind of knew this match was going to be on early.
Yeah.
I knew it was a pre-show match. I didn't know it was going to be the very first match. I thought maybe they'd start with a Battle Royal. But they probably wanted more people to get filled in. The match, any impressions?
It's pretty much the typical 205 type match. 2 guys, very talented. One guy maybe a little more high fly, where the other guy is more ground type style. Nothing bad against these. I've seen Tony Nese for quite some time. Also, a guy who came from the Indies that has always impressed me. Always thought he was well good with his physique, his ability for a guy with that kind of muscle base to be able to do a lot of the high flying stuff he did. Buddy Murphy, a guy who come out of the NXT training performance center and all that, has improved and impressed, and has showed that he can hold his own against a lot of the guys. Definitely a very good match for a cruiserweight one, even though it seems that a lot of people really aren't into the cruiserweight stuff at this time.
That being said, Tony Nese is your new champion. Congratulations, Mr. APAC. All right, next match.
I believe that was the
women's Battle Royal.
The women's Battle Royal.
Yeah, everybody expecting Asuka to go over.
Yeah, that was pretty much.
I thought it was a given. The way they did her. It's like you need some kind of consolence.
I know after her losing her belt, less than 10 days ago on SmackDown and all that. But that just
they did the old Jimmy Hart on us.
The little switcheroo.
The classic Jimmy Hart, where Carmella was out of the ring forever, and the last Asuka gets eliminated by.
Actually Ray Rowe's wife, Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan, and you're thinking Sarah Logan won all of it. I was kind of shocked. Carmella comes in and eliminates her. So Carmella wins the female battle royal. Whatever. Since Asuka didn't win, I don't really care. It was really quick. Obviously, you knew these were going to be quick because they were on the pre-show anyway. But Asuka didn't win. No surprises.
There were a couple of nice little spots with maybe a couple of the people facing each other, with Naomi and Ember Moon sort of getting in each other's face and thinking something's going to happen, but a third party takes care of that.
Yeah.
I thought.
Ember Moon did her move off the top rope.
Yes, against Lana, I believe it was.
Yeah,
who was dressed
then,
as Wonder Woman.
And then we saw the elbow.
Yes, Kairi Sane shockingly was in this. I didn't think she would be in it.
So we did see those two high spots.
Dana Brooke.
Nothing from Naomi though, like a Kofi spot from Naomi, the way she was.
Nothing like that. But I did like the Dana Brooke showing a little fire and knocking two.
Yeah, they did give Dana Brooke a couple eliminations, and maybe there's something there because she has been coming out lately and been kind of speaking up. So. Good for her. I hope she does get something because she has been there a while.
She's been quiet and been in the background, and maybe they can build something with her like they slowly did with Becky over the last year and a half or so. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like that, but maybe it'll give her a little push and a little more recognition.
So then after the Battle Royal, the female Battle Royal.
Yeah, after.
But before the male Battle Royal.
There was the tag team title match with the Revival versus everybody's favorite loser, Kurt Hawkins, and his best bud from Long Island, Zack Ryder.
So this came from out of nowhere. These guys have been doing, podcasting on YouTube, collecting action figures, and I've been watching it.
Very enjoyable.
So they've been getting, a lot of steam with that. So they challenged these guys on Twitter.
Yeah, from what I heard, they put out a thing on Twitter.
And the Revival, let's just say first, the Revival, they've been kind of vocal about wanting to leave in real life here. They want to leave the WWE. They're not happy there. There's been rumors that Vince even wants to split them up the next year and be like solo acts. So when they are free agents, they're not known as a tag team. That's kind of shallow, if that's the truth. But even like special, just we won't talk about it in depth because it's all over and everybody knows anyway. But the Hall of Fame, Bret Hart, got tackled by some jerk, some idiot. So we won't even, fuck him. But, oops, but still. Hey, you know what? Hey, it deserves it. But the thing is Dawson got a cheap shot in on him.
That's what it was. Actually, it was said on an online site that it was Dash Wilder.
Dash Wilder, sorry.
Dash Wilder was the one who got a cheap shot into the guy's jaw, knocking him out.
It's kind of neat. It's kind of funny and, rocking and, all kudos to that guy. And maybe it's just like adds to the thing. It's like, hey, maybe they'll still get us fired.
Hey, the Revival, they come to Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. Hey, tag team guys, stick together, they got...
Hey, I thought that was great. They all came out for that Hall of Fame, they're all... that was... Yeah, anyway, but, the Revival did lose their straps.
Believe it or not.
Kurt Hawkins pinned...
Scott Dawson with a small package, making him believe that he was knocked out.
So after the three... How many losses in a row?
They said it was 269 straight losses, and he even said that he was going to take it with pride and stride. And, be everybody's favorite lovable loser if that's how it was going to be until that streak ended. And tonight was the night. So, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
Man, Barry Horowitz didn't have a record that horrible. Man, but yeah, Kurt Hawkins had the pin and everything. They got the straps, ladies and gentlemen.
Be proud.
So, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, they are together again. And that's good.
Yeah.
We've wanted that for a while.
Oh, yeah.
But at the expense of the Revival, it's kind of, that's too bad for you guys.
It's sort of sad, but you know what? Maybe this will be the same kind of joyous push that the B team got when they had,
the joyous one, that lasted about
But hopefully this is going to last a lot longer, and people are going to show a lot more love to the Long Island boys. So I wish them the best.
All right, cool. So the women's battle royal was after that.
That was the men's.
All right, the men's battle royal. Sorry guys, it's late. So the men's battle royal, we got that whole outside story going on with Braun Strowman and the jerks from SNL News. Oh. They show up, and of course they go under the ring right away.
Yes.
They're under the ring until the end. The ring, just cleared out really quick. This one was really fast.
Yeah, I'd say within the first 2 minutes, at least 6 guys had been thrown over one way or another. A lot of guys did not last very long. There were a couple good spots and some nice little go at one another's. The funniest one I thought was Almas, or Andrade, as he goes by now, doing a Hurricane Rana, or Frankensteiner, as most people would call it, and causing himself and his opponent to both be knocked out of the ring. And then has the shocked, what did I just do moment, and it's like, way to go, genius, you just knocked yourself out.
What about Ali? Bumping on the table there with his eye, huh?
Yes.
That looked nasty.
Luke Harper trying to suplex him out there, and Braun coming with a huge foot to Luke Harper's chest, and Ali going and crashing and then smashing the exact same eye into the ring announce desk.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. So anyway, it comes down to the Hardys and Braun. And the Hardys are standing on the outside of the ring. Braun's on the inside. They're trying to suplex Braun out. In come the SNL dweebies.
Yeah. Major fail.
They're trying to lift him out as well. Braun just pushes the Hardys off and turns around and just slaps Michael Shake.
Whoa.
Just out of the ring. Just gives him a slap. He flies out of the ring. And then it's just him left with
Colin. Wearing a Cleveland
wearing a Cleveland jersey with an Odell Beckham on it.
Just to jab the New York fans a little bit, and then throws him like a lone dart onto all the guys who are.
But I'm gonna say, man, he got, for Colin being the instigator of the duo, Michael Shea got a smack in the face, man. And all Colin got, he just got thrown on a pile of guys.
Yeah, I'll take.
So man,
I'll take
Michael, I wonder if Michael Shea in the back was like, "Yo, man, just hit me because I want to sell something." Because man, I don't know, he was feeling that, But Braun Strowman wins. He gets the Andre Trophy. It looks less gold than ever. It looked plastic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was
it
that
looked like some of the wiffle ball bats made out?
I was like, man, this is a multi-billion-dollar company, and you can't even get like a bronze one.
Yeah, bronze for Braun.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the pre-show. Meh, it is what it is. You can skip it really and just get into the main event if you haven't watched the event. Yeah. But all right, into the actual event, into the actual WrestleMania. And, we start out with Alexa Bliss coming out and introducing Hulk Hogan. Wait, it was Alexa Bliss, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan comes out and does his brother, and everybody cheers. But then Paul Heyman, from out of nowhere, just walks down to the ring.
Right in between them.
Gets himself a microphone, and he's like, if we ain't going on last, we're going on first because we want to get the hell out of here. Brock ain't going to perform unless we do it first. So the first match was the Universal Championship match. Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of Brock was just kind of all over Seth.
He was on a rampage.
Treating him like a rag doll. Wasn't giving Seth an inch. And, about 7 minutes into it, referee gets knocked out or distracted. Low blow.
It gets pushed out because it was at least a good 3 minutes of Brock beating him up before the match.
It was all Brock.
Started.
It was all Brock. Something happens to the ref. Low blow. Three curve stomps.
And that
new
was
champion Seth Rollins.
And that's how you get a new champ.
And that's exactly what makes sense. Brock probably heard that was the outcome, and it's like, well, I'm going on first. I want to get this over so I can go to Sizzler. So, he wanted no part of it. He knew he was losing the belt. He knew he wasn't going on last.
Yes, he did.
Hey, Seth Rollins has the strap. Good for Seth. All right. So, the match, if you like seeing Seth beat for 7 minutes and then just doing a few moves and winning, it's a match for you. It wasn't great, but it had the outcome everybody wanted, and I think that's what's most important, I guess.
Yeah, I do find it sad that a heavyweight title match of a belt that's supposed to mean something didn't mean much.
Didn't mean much at all. All right, match number 2. They went with Orton and AJ.
Good matchup here.
Yeah. This was what you would expect. A lot of AJ's moves, Randy's moves. They did everything. They gave us everything both of them had.
Oh, yeah, you got the typical Orton's quick power slams, his love for beating on a guy. You get AJ's nice high-flying moves, attempts at submissions. They go back and forth. You see Randy Orton do his typical super duperplex off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Both take it. Hard hits coming down on that mat. You see him attempt to try and do some super RKO, but doesn't pan out. Again, tries to catch AJ on the ropes. AJ was smart enough to jump back, cause Orton to get clotheslined by the rope, nails him with the forearm. The second one, because he had nailed him with one outside,
Right.
ends up getting a clean pin on Orton.
Gets the pin. Randy puts him over. You know, we're still not seeing the styles clash. I don't think anybody wants to take it anymore.
People probably afraid. I mean, a couple people who didn't do it right did get their necks broken.
Yeah.
So, and if they're much larger than AJ, it could make it a little tough.
But I like the way AJ sells that elbow. It's a great elbow, and it's believable. And yeah, you know, definitely AJ gets the
Gets the victory.
He gets the victory. Very nice, very nice. Number 3, 4-way tag, Usos. The Bar.
Right?
Ricochet and Aleister Black. And
You got Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura.
all right, then we got the new what?
Well, they
Nikolai and
didn't really,
Sheik, right?
Yeah,
That's what
I
you
said
said.
it looked like it
And
was
then
the
Nikolai and Sheik.
kind of combination.
Boy, Vince loves them.
I mean, it was a good match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of one-up.
Again, in these type of matches, you have where every team gets their spot.
Right, which is
You
something
know.
that you definitely need, for tag team matches.
Okay, so match number 3 was the 4-way tag. We got the Usos, we got the Bar, Aleister Black and Ricochet,
Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura.
who are the new Iron Sheik, and Nikolai Volkov, apparently, and Vince, I'm sure, loves that to death. All right, so, spots galore. Everybody got their spot. Traditional thing, the 4-way match. Couple teams take a rest while 2 teams work. Anything in particular?
Nice little bits where there was the one-upsmanship of tagging a guy out to get in and keep them from being able to get to that championship.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the Bar doing it to the Usos or Shinsuke and them trying to keep Aleister and Ricochet from getting in it. A lot of nice little high spots from everybody. Of course, near the end of the match, everybody had hit some big move, whether it was just the Black Mask or the Big Kick or whatever different ones. There was an interesting one. During the middle of the match, the Bar, Cesaro had Ricochet, and he went and did the big swing. I swear to God, it had to be at least 50 times.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Before he started, when he was propping up, I said, "Oh, Ricochet weighs $105. He's going to spin that boy 50 times," and he did.
And while that was going on, while that's going on, Sheamus is doing the 10 beats of the Bowery to 3 of the other guys. One of the Usos, Shinsuke, and even Rusev all took a beating to the chest. And while that's going on, you just see Ricochet go round and round and round, and the crowd went nuts for it.
Yeah, very generous match for everybody involved. Everybody got their spot. Usos over, pinning Sheamus.
With a double splash off the top rope.
Sheamus seems to get the pins going here. He seems to be a fodder like that. I seem to recall him just getting pinned a lot lately here.
It seems like it.
Yeah. But, he's a good guy. I want to point out that Rusev put a tweet out there, and he said that they were going to watch Total Divas a while back. And you heard Sheamus, yell out from the background, "Like hell we are, that's shite," or something. It was really funny. Go check that out. So he seems like a good guy. All right, but, Usos, they signed that 3-year contract. So kind of figured they were going over. They did. Right thing. They need to stay strong right now with the strap. Stay in the hole a little longer. So that was a good move. All right, so match number 4, we got Miz, and we got Mr. McMahon, or we got Shane McMahon, not Mr. McMahon, what am I saying here? We got Miz and Shane McMahon. This is the match of the night, but I say that jokingly, just because, we have Miz's good old dad with us here tonight.
Yeah.
And he's always entertaining. But, of course, this is an excuse for Shane to have a high spot. It always is every year. And since it wasn't a steel cage match, of course it was Falls Count Anywhere, because they're going to work their way to something Shane could jump off of. And this time around, what did they jump off of, Cecil?
They jumped off one of the camera towers that they had set up for one of the sides. They had it nicely set up. We had the boxes that that they use to crash down in, draped over in the black. And they went up there. They were taking a beating. And Shane decides to suplex Shane McMahon right off, and
Miz decides to
Miz,
suplex.
sorry, Miz,
Shane suplexed himself. It was phenomenal.
It was incredible.
But yeah,
But of course, the Miz suplexes him, and when they crash through, Shane's the one that ends up being on top of him, draped with his arm.
yeah, it just lands that way where Shane's arm is over Miz, so the referee counts, and it's a little Nate was the ref, right? Wasn't it little Nate?
More than likely, that seems to be
Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
Shane goes over. Kind of figured he would, but there was a spot in the match itself where after Shane was going to do something nasty to Miz.
He was going to drop the elbow off of the turnbuckle while having him lie on one of the commentators.
The dad takes upon himself to go in and stand up for his boy now. And he's like, don't you dare. Don't do it to my boy.
He's a good daddy.
Oh, yeah, with his mustache and his, what Shane says, baked potato face. So he goes, Shane, throws him in the ring, and he gets up, and he boo with his dukes, and he's like, come on now.
And Shane's willing to help him because he starts moving his hands
just
for him.
standing like this, he doesn't know what to do. And Shane's just like and he's like that. So Shane just, what does he do? He kicks him?
I think he kicked him in the gut, and he just
dropped like a potato.
Yeah. He dropped like a baked potato.
And of course, Miz trying to sell look what you did about that. Are you okay? And his dad's still why? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay, Miz. Doesn't know how to sell it. It's hilarious. His dad's one of the highlights of the night. It's really funny. But anyway, Shane, high spot, overdone.
Yeah.
Greatest wrestler in the world, right? Right. That's number 5 women's tag match. We got Iconics. We got...
You got the champs, Bailey and Sasha Banks.
Right.
You've got the Divas of Doom, Natalya and her best bud, Beth Phoenix, coming out of retirement to fight for her.
And we got the new Samoan SWAT team.
Yes, Nia
Jax and Tamina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Nia Jax always looking big. Bigger. Not putting her down.
No.
She's a big girl. But, it's to her advantage. She looks more intimidating the bigger she gets, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, this match, they come out and Iconics are wearing kind of a demon and an angel outfit.
Yeah.
But it's all black. The angel wings on Peyton is black. And
Billy Kay had the
kind of Maleficent horns.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of. Really tall. Yeah, okay, so, hey, good match, though.
Yeah, it had some nice little bits to it. Beth Phoenix showed, hey, it's been 6 years since she's been in a ring.
Mm-hmm.
But that rust really wasn't that much.
Yeah, her and Natty all donned in the pink and black.
Yes,
Bret Hart came out and kind of played them at the ring there.
Very Hart Foundation-like.
Yeah. So, you know what, that was really fun. And a lot of people were saying, Beth is coming back. They might get the straps. But actually, it wasn't Beth and it wasn't Natalya that went over in this match.
Shocking.
Wasn't surprising to me, shocking to you. But I kind of had a feeling if they were going to put them on somebody, why do it for Beth? I get a feeling Beth's just doing this for a little thing.
Yeah.
She's not committed. So they actually put them on the team that makes the most sense. That's the Iconics.
Yeah, they went
I'm really glad about that. A lot of people are ragging on the Iconics that they're not really that great in the ring, but you know what? I like them, and I didn't like them when they first came in NXT.
Really?
I was very strong against.
They
have grown on me though.
I liked them. I felt they had potential and all that. Mm-hmm. I hoped that they had blossomed a little more in their wrestling ability. They had the spots for the mic, and they had a good look to them, and them being friends who came all the way from Australia to do this, to feel the dream and all that.
Right.
It was a bit of a shock, at least for me, because I figured with Hall of Fame and Natty's father passing, and even if Beth was only going to be there for a short while, we've seen paper champions, when it's a week, 2 weeks, or even a month having belts and all that stuff. I would have been not as surprised if it was Natty and Beth, but that it was the Iconics.
Yeah, it was the Iconics.
It doesn't disappoint me. It doesn't disappoint me.
Good for them. Hopefully they'll have a long reign. I feel like Becky and Sasha really need to split up and start being singles again.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice. But, hey, for what it was, a really good match. Again, a 4-way match. Everybody got their spot. And Iconics are over. That's the way it should have been. All right, so match number 6. they go and they throw Kofi and Bryan at us. So
right in the middle.
Not even really midway.
Just before the midway point for these matches.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it could have gone on a little later. It really could have.
It probably should have. The one thing about the pay-per-views, it seems the WWE doesn't do, is they don't start with maybe the lowest of the matches and slowly build to make one match, and then the next one should even be better than that.
Right.
They always seem to do a little build, and then it slides a little, and then they build, and then they slide again. This one should have been more like match 9, 10, somewhere closer to the end, but you get it somewhere about the middle. But it was not one that you would be disappointed. It was a very good match, back and forth between the two. Coffey had his spots, his attempts at his big moves. Daniel Bryan doing everything he can to keep Coffey from getting that belt.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as long as I thought it would be, but it was. I believed, he had him when he had him.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It was, you would think it's like, oh, you beat Daniel Bryan that quick, but because the match was only like, what was the match? About 10 minutes.
Give or take.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have been 15 at the longest and all that, but there were some nice little bits.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel was putting his locks, and Kofi was getting out of them, and Kofi got that SOS on him.
Yeah, that made it look like it could have been a really close one. Daniel with his charging knee, and you thought, okay, maybe this is where you're going to get him, but no, Coffey manages to pop that arm up.
Yeah, and
get the match going, get the crowd going. They were very into it, very psyched.
And no involvement. I mean, Rowan was there, the New Day was there, but it was a pretty clean match.
They cut him off. They did the midnight hour on Rowan on the outside with Xavier Woods jumping off the commentators thing.
Right.
I was impressed that Big E got that big boy up on his shoulders because Rowan is not no small guy.
Right. So and that kind of left Kofi and Daniel one-on-one. And, Kofi's your new, heavyweight champion.
And that makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
That's what the crowd wanted.
Even if they decide to take the belt off him Tuesday. Well, I mean, he's got a streak on him.
That's right.
He's on fire. I hope this is a decent run for Kofi. It'd be nice if they kept it on until at least SummerSlam, but...
He deserves to have a good run with that. 11 years... Toting that barge and
never having a heavyweight match. I don't know though. I'm kind of worried though.
He's super decorated as a tag and Intercontinental champ and all that. And for Coffey to finally get the brass ring, I hope they give him a good run. But even if it did end up being one of those terrible little 1 week title reigns and all that, the one thing they can never take away from him is his WrestleMania moment, winning that belt.
How about that? Well said, Cecil. Well said.
Thank you.
So, really, really good feel-good moment for midway through the match. Got everybody pepped up.
They were psyched for the next match just to be taken and have your balloon pop.
Oh, were they? And the next match was at least it was the... I mean, it didn't last long.
No, this one, this was a very... very sad little match.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the United States title. Rumors going in, Rey Mysterio tweaked his ankle last week, so they weren't even going to have the match. And then they decided to have the match. 3 minutes,
probably. At least 3 minutes. This thing was so quick. He got a 619 in a matter of like the first minute of the match. Goes up, tries to do something real clever with a wheelbarrow thing, and Joe just plops him on the ground. Puts him in the Coquita clutch, and this was over. I mean, if you had went and took a bathroom break, you'd have missed the entire match.
Yeah, and you know what? I was wondering about that ankle, so it didn't surprise me that it was short. And it should have been short, because they need to build Joe up as a monster. They need to keep him as a monster.
He can only help that U.S. title, but you have to have the right opponent. I would have rather seen him face Ali, but I like to still call it Mustafa Ali. It would have been a way better match.
Well, I mean, the thing is if they're going forward with Kofi and they're not doing Daniel and Kofi, the next logical opponent is Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So
he would be a good opponent.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But while he holds that U.S. title, they need to have a good opponent, good contender to chase the belt.
Yeah.
And it just isn't Rey Mysterio.
It's not Ali either.
Maybe not, but you know what? It could have been a longer match, and it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, it would have been. Even with Cien almost. Because they been a better match.
Yeah.
Well, especially if his things tweak. But I will give a special note to Ray. His outfit was outstanding. It looked like Mysterio from Spider-Man. You got that Spider-Man movie coming out in the summer with Mysterio. His name's Rey Mysterio. I bet one of the best outfits he's ever made, logically and aesthetically, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing he was missing was the bowl on his
Yeah,
head.
he didn't have the bowl on his head. He's a mass luchador, so he had something, you know. But I love the outfit, though. So I thought that was really cool. All right. So next match, we got Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. This is the one everybody was looking forward to.
Yeah, you know,
Roman Reigns, fresh off of his leukemia, surviving, which is great.
We were happy for that,
Good luck
'cause
for, you know.
I knew someone who did not get to survive from that horrible
Yeah,
disease.
definitely. Second time too. He had it as an 11-year-old,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
That is terrible.
So hey, really good for him and everything. I know John Oliver kind of put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, recently.
Comparing his wet hair look to
Terrible.
a pedo
Yeah.
after he survived the leukemia. So someone should have schooled Oliver on something there.
Before you do these things, do a little research before you start
all of
talking
his
serious crap on somebody.
All of his union talk, which is good for everybody, aside.
Yeah, that's
that
not,
was pretty funny.
totally not cool.
But anyway, the match, okay? Hey, man, Drew McIntyre.
The man's a
The
beast.
entrance first, though.
Oh, it was beautiful. The
A bunch of
bagpipes.
Scots, with their bagpipes and their drums. Very nice. Look, comes out, he just looks like $1 million. Drew McIntyre, he's from his days in three-man band.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's come so far.
Yeah.
That stint in Impact did nothing but help them.
Oh, his time in Impact and the time that he spent over in his homeland of the Isles, fighting in the Defiant Wrestling, being their champion for at least, I believe it was like 6 to 8 months span, and the matches that he had there only improved him greatly with the size, the look, and the types of moves that he does. He's so improved. He truly is a chosen one.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks we got to deal with this Roman situation on an unnatural level, this company.
Yeah, I mean...
and it's like, now he's come back from cancer, so, this was a good match, actually, though.
Yes.
I mean, it was a good match.
a lot of hard hits, a lot of stay down. You should have never came back. It drew a lot of good heat for McIntyre using that
Roman
that he was sick and all that.
Roman was kind of looking weak at times. Like maybe it's like did he come back too early? And I was wondering if he was going to go over or if they were going to play that out.
Yeah.
But at the very end, Superman punched Speary's over.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, all right, now on to Saudi Arabia, I guess. Him and Rollins. I actually kind of like the idea of McIntyre and Rollins a lot better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, the likelihood would be not very.
Yeah, it's just, it's kind of like the wrong person went over, and it sucks because it was WrestleMania, so it's like the right person went over.
Yeah.
This was a match that, if they could have not had a match on this card, this match.
Truthfully, what I would have did with this one, even though people wouldn't have liked it, but how many times has, the WWE put out a match and people didn't like it because they wanted to do it a certain way with a story? What would have been better, at least what I would have done, I would have had McIntyre win. He would have been a great contender for Rollins to go in. Maybe he would be the guy that Rollins would fall to, but not till a little ways down the road. And then maybe there would be a rematch, and then Roman would get his revenge.
Exactly. I mean, coming back so soon, if you would have played out like Roman came back too soon, he was too weak, and Drew McIntyre beat him just because he couldn't last, you get just more sympathy on Roman. You wouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman could have lost this match had it been played out correctly, and it's just Vince and Roman, boy, just Roman.
He loves this boy.
He couldn't, Roman actually probably shouldn't have even really been back. He should have stayed gone until come back after WrestleMania, have all that story play out.
Yeah.
He left for 6 months. Yeah.
I mean,
Vince thought he needed Roman to sell more tickets. Did he?
Not really. I mean, he's got a lot of guys, and there are a lot of guys down there that have potential if given the chance and the right circumstance.
Yeah.
You know,
he didn't need to be at this WrestleMania, but it is what it is.
Too much volume and not enough substance to help build your stars.
Right.
But
hey, it is what it is.
It's his company.
Yeah. You know, Roman's Roman. So that's what happened. Elias. We get Elias now.
Yes,
And Elias debuts first off on the big screen up there. We see Elias playing drums. Then we see Elias playing the piano.
Yep.
And then there's a double shot of the both of them side by side. Then we get Elias in the ring with his guitar. And for the first time ever, we're going to see a man play with himself live on stage, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what he did. Played the drums, played the piano and the guitar at the same time. Pre-recorded piano and drums, obviously. The man ain't multiple man.
No, he's not.
So, you know, tries to put on a show, and all of a sudden the Doctor of Thugonomics comes out, and it's our John Cena.
Hooray!
We all thought we were going to get.
Just what we
Coming
needed.
out like old school John Cena, you know, with his chain and everything.
Yep, I'm amazed he didn't have his Bull Buchanan in tow, but you probably can't find that fella anymore.
Didn't need this.
Nope.
Totally buried Elias for no reason whatsoever. If he was going to do something, he should just came out and congratulated Kurt or something later on. But he didn't. He came out and he did a rap on Elias, humiliating the crap out of him, and he buried him. So
Absolutely
maybe,
terrible.
you know, you did the people's elbow or the people's elbow.
No, it's the 5-9 shuffle.
Hey, what's the difference, right? The people's shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, whatever. Mr. Thugonomics buries Elias. Whoop-de-doo.
Worst thing.
Great.
That was probably the worst thing all night.
Yeah,
At least for me it was.
And it's like the show's long enough as it is.
We really didn't need that.
Okay, Batista Triple H is our next match, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Batista comes out to two security cars and a bunch of security guards, and he's just sitting with his trunks in the back seat. It's so funny, just sitting like this, and they open the car, and he just gets out. How you doing?
But that's not the best part.
No, go ahead. I'll give it to you. Go for it.
Please, I want this. He gets to the ring. Well, you know how I always say, you know, people that ain't been around have that ring rust. Well, apparently Batista had a ton of rust because he couldn't get through the ropes. That's right, folks. When he goes in, he gets that first foot in, but he forgets to cock that second foot in and totally clips the rope and takes a nosedive right in the ring.
You know, we got our Titus moment thanks to Batista.
So get your memes started.
Pretty funny. Triple H comes out. His theme is Mad Max this year. He thinks he's, what's the guy's name? Humongous?
Yes.
Lord Humongous, Triple H.
But I'd call him
Lord Humongous Nose. Lord Humongous Ego, right? That's what you said.
Humongous Ego, yes.
Give it to you.
God, Lord, he comes out with the one little beat-up looking vehicle covered in skulls and barbed wire.
Some guy looking like he's a meth addict from behind the alley driving the machine.
It was one of the guys from that actual movie.
He was made up to look like a guy from Fury Road.
Just awful.
Yeah.
Comes
just
out,
awful, though.
Has his little cut-off leather jacket, does his little spew thing.
Actually, you know what the guy reminded me of with his makeup and his blonde hair spiked up? That kid at the fair. I love turtles.
Could have been.
Alright.
Oh, does he know?
Hey, so the match is the match. Batista's not really that rusty. You know, that's cool.
He actually could do
He
some
remembers
stuff.
how to do stuff. Got some fresh ink on his body. He added some flowers to his back. Lovely.
Thigh tats, some more side stuff, a little bit more into the back of the hand.
So, you know what? They use a lot of plunder in this match. A lot of things happen outside the ring. Finally, we get a table broken.
Yeah, two, 3, 5 times we saw people get nailed on the commentator tables and they didn't break. Who built these things?
Yeah, and then they go on one, they didn't break it, and then finally the German one breaks, just like the German one broke before. It was the only one that broke.
All night.
So yeah, he suplexed Batista. They using the stairs. Triple H gets the sledgehammer, of course. There's a spot where Triple H is holding the sledgehammer. Batista lifts him up for the powerbomb. You think he's going to cold cock him, but Batista executes the move.
A couple of close counts, you know, back and forth. Use of a chain, use of, you know...
The chain, the way he was whipping Batista was really good, too. He making sure the chain hit the steps before it hit Batista, but it looked good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I mean, going into this, we knew Batista had beaten Hunter
3 times.
3 times. Hunter never beat him, so Hunter was gonna get the win, and he pedigreed him. He did get the win. Batista gave him a win.
Yeah.
He came back and he
Thanks to
sold
Ric
for
Flair.
Triple H.
Thanks to
Rick came out, and actually the ending of the match was Batista ended up getting Triple H's first sledgehammer. He thought he was going to get Triple H with it, and Rick was distracting him, saying, hey, what are you going to do, big man? Not realizing Ric Flair had given Triple H another sledgehammer. So Triple H used the sledgehammer, pedigrees.
1, 2, 3.
Trips gets his, final fucking victory, dude. Please. You don't need, come on, man. Seriously. Talk about giving spots to people and taking spots from people. The one guy was arguing, was it Booker T or somebody, that the SNL guys were taking 2 spots from 2 dudes for in the damn Royal. Yeah, in the Battle Royal.
Here's 2 more spots taken.
We got Triple H and Shane McMahon and these guys taking spots from on the actual show. So, hey,
Terrible.
Trips wins, whatever. They both looked good, though.
Yeah.
And they weren't winded. It was a good match. It was a solid
pretty
match.
decent for guys that have been through the middle for a long time.
It's pretty much the best match you could probably get out of these guys.
Yeah.
Especially considering Batista's hasn't been around for, 8 years?
6, I believe.
Was it 6?
I believe he was a 6 years as well.
Okay,
just
cool.
Like that.
Cool. 6 years. Well, time flies by.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because Beth was 6 years too, and I didn't realize that. I was like, wow. All right, so Jeff, do you want to check the? We could do editing with this, where he just jumps ahead. I just want to make sure. I forgot to look at the clock before he started it again.
So we got 8 minutes left on this.
Okay, it's okay, cool. So the next match we got going here is Angle versus Corbin. Baron Corbin.
The one everybody's been waiting for.
You know what? And this was the match that everybody was just convinced it's not going to be Corbin.
It can't.
There's no way Angle's going to give his retirement match to Baron Corbin.
For God's sake, no.
We saw John Cena though already, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Undertaker's being saved for Saudi Arabia. We know this.
True.
So, Baron Corbin versus fucking Kurt Angle. Yeah, I couldn't believe this. But, that's what it is. 3 minutes? How long was this match?
I want to say it was about 5.
About 5 minutes?
Maybe.
Okay, you know what? First off, people are going to be out there, you younger kids out there, that are upset that Angle lost this match to Baron Corbin.
I don't blame you.
This is the reason I was thinking it wasn't going to be Baron Corbin is for the reason that the old school reason that retirement matches usually you lose them.
Yeah.
That's the tradition. You put the guy over. You're going out. That's what Ric Flair did with Shawn Michaels. That's what most people do when they retire. That's the kind of the idea. So people are going to be upset Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle. But the point of the match was Angle was supposed to lose this match. It's just unfortunate he lost to Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Now, if they're thinking Baron Corbin is still some guy that their future is behind, okay, he needs to lose that dress outfit of his because he looks like a tool with that vest and dress shirt.
He should really just go.
And
back
I was
to
a fan of Baron's. I was a I was like, well,
Yeah, you were.
hate him. He has the damn belly button that talks to you.
I was so.
And he had the receding hairline. I didn't mind any of it. I thought he looked cool. Now he looks like a tool, and it just his character sucks, and I hate it. And I hate it for him. And I don't know if he hates me. He probably does. But yeah, he beat Kurt, man. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
he
sadly.
did End of Days, and he beat him. That's the point of a retirement match. You don't win your retirement match.
That's the most shocking thing about the match is that Baron Corbin beat him clean.
And that's the point. That's why it just shouldn't have been Baron. Right. And that's just the whole thing. It kind of sucks because a retirement match, you're pinned clean. That's the whole thing.
That's how it goes.
But hey, it is what it is. He won. Kurt Angle said goodbye, and it was sad.
You got to see his family and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, so, second to last match, we get Lashley and Balor finally. All right, this match is weird. This match was kind of weird. Because you really expected the demon, all right? We haven't seen the demon since, SummerSlam?
I think so.
All right, he
That's
finally puts
right.
on his demon makeup again. He's been bitching that it's hard to do, and he doesn't like doing the makeup or whatever. We get the demon, and this match is like nothing, man. It's like, how long was it?
I want to say it was 10 minutes, maybe, give or take. I mean,
10 minutes of really, I really expected this match to be something. I expected the Finn to do a lot more than he did.
yeah.
He really didn't do anything in this match.
There was some quick,
especially not for a
quick
demon
bits.
match.
There was quick bits in the beginning with Bobby Lashley.
I thought the paint was lazy. One of the laziest paint jobs.
It wasn't one of the most
didn't
impressive
really-
ones
I
that he's
mean-
had, like previous ones when he did the Jack the Ripper one down in NXT and
Yeah.
stuff. It was very basic. And then you got Lashley for some reason wearing color contacts to give him yellow eyes.
He had the
Was it?
albino eyes. He looked like a cyborg or something really menacing. He looked really cool. Finn Balor was the demon. Finn coup de grace him, and he won, and he has the belt. It just was a disappointing match.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was
Especially for something
Wasn't
that
good
they
enough.
held off for second to last.
right.
We should have gotten something a lot better.
This would have been a better spot with Daniel Bryan and Kofi.
Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely. That's what we're saying. It should have been.
Always build.
It
Always
should have been
build.
second to last. It should have been second, but it wasn't. It was this match, and Finn Balor went over with a coup de grace, like we said, as the demon. Should have been a lot better. It would just seem like a Finn Balor match, not a demon match.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a Finn Balor match. All right, cool. So main event. Finally, we're here. We got Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey for both the SmackDown and Raw women's titles.
Yes, a nice
Winner take all. All right, so we get a nice little opening with Charlotte with a helicopter
Yes.
flying in. They probably filmed this earlier. It
More
probably
than
wasn't live.
likely.
So yeah, she gets flown down, gets out of the helicopter. A couple gentlemen put her robe on her, and she walks into the building. And
On red carpet.
well, it was red carpet, but the angle they shot her walking into the building with the big Bud Light sign, it looked like she was walking into a building to buy Bud Light, which I thought was funny. But anyway, so we have this match. Becky comes out looking good with this black and yellow attire.
Yeah, it was
Long sleeves.
long sleeve shorts, little studs and yellow on the side and all that. Very nice.
Nice eye makeup, had her hair up. Charlotte looking like Charlotte and Ronda Rousey looking like Roddy Piper.
Yeah, and she came out to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts playing
Joan
the
Jett
theme.
performed live, and I really liked that.
That was really awesome.
I'm a big Joan Jett fan, so that was really nice to see Joan playing like that with the Blackhearts. That was nice to see. This match pretty brutal, huh?
Yeah, there was some.
There was some
good
cuts and
moves.
scrapes going on here. Ronda Rousey got her leg all cut up. Charlotte had some bleeding from the elbow.
And she might have gotten a little bit from the nose,
A little
too.
bit from the
I
nose,
think
too, huh?
she might have caught one and all that, because I did see a little bit of blood off on like a certain body part, like maybe she had wiped blood
Oh,
from her
really
nose.
quick, that
Yeah.
Triple H match, we forgot to say there was a spot there where he ripped Batista's nose ring out.
No, true.
Anyway, that was pretty gnarly. But yeah, the girls, they worked, boy. This was a good match. I liked this match.
Oh yeah, you saw Ronda try and put both Becky and Charlotte in a bit of a triangle with their heads and arms caught, but they ended up working together, and they powerbombed Ronda not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice.
Very, very brutal on that body. And then, of course, Charlotte does a Spanish fly off the top turnbuckle with Becky Lynch. Got a very close call with that one. She tried doing her other little move. What is it called? The Queen's. The one with the little flip. I can't. Sorry, I just don't remember because she doesn't use it that often anymore.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of close calls. Figure 4 through the turnbuckle part, on Ronda Rousey. Some attempted disarmers by Becky multiple times on both opponents. Even armbar kind of stuff. Ronda Rousey tried on Becky. It was very back and forth. The ladies really put a lot into it, trying to make sure the crowd was into it, make sure that it was a very entertaining match, and it was. At least I found it to be.
Yeah, it's just really, I mean, you know, it's kind of the match you expected to see.
Yes.
There was no surprises.
No.
You know, other than the bloodletting, really.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
the only thing that might have been a slight deterrent is I'm sure there'll be a bit of controversy on the way this match ended with Ronda Rousey and Becky.
Yeah, we were just before we talk about the pinfall. Anything else really that stood out in this match? How'd she hurt her leg, Ronda? How do we figure she did that? She cut her leg up, Ronda.
I'm figuring it might have gotten somewhere during the time when she got the double power bomb area. I think it was sometime after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is possible that it might have happened maybe sometime during that final that figure four around the buckle support bar, perhaps. Maybe it got caught somewhere on there, possibly, since her legs were wrapped moderately around it. That's two possibilities.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, in the end here, you know, Charlotte's out of the ring, and Becky pins Ronda in a very controversial way. She gets Ronda's shoulder down for a 1 count, then the shoulders lift up, and then then they go back down. The ref just does 2 and 3.
Yes.
So there's going to be some kind of controversy going into this. It wasn't a clean pinfall.
No, but it was a nice counter to Ronda Rousey's, I guess you would say, fireman's backdrop or spinning Samoan drop. I don't know what the technical name that she might use for that, but to turn that into a bit of a crucifix, that was a nice little counter for a move that somebody's just started using in their career and all that.
Yeah.
But Becky Lynch, she's your unified women's champ.
I mean, I personally think it's going to hurt Ronda if she leaves now, because she's still green. You know, she's getting better, but she needs to get better. Leaving now to do a family, and then, I mean, if she is planning on coming back, you know, I don't know. I just don't think this is the right time, you know, but, you know, it is what she wants to do, I suppose, if that's what she's going to do. You know, especially with like Shayna Baszler, all the horsemen there now, I think they'd have a really good, you know, if they just started some women factions here, maybe wrestling 4 horsemen versus MMA 4 horsemen versus the maybe the Sky Pirates and Asuka.
You could come up with a
you know what I mean?
Ones, yeah.
I mean, it's all lined up for all of that, and it would really be too bad if she just decided to leave. But she was getting boos. Boy, Ronda's just...
She gets mixed. She does get mixed.
You know what? And good, sell the heel thing. You know what? I think you can learn wrestling better as a heel than as a face. It's harder to be a face.
True.
You have fun being a heel. It's easier to be a heel.
It's easier to get heat than to get love.
So
it really is. In
I
this
think
day and
that's
age.
good. But you know, hey, Becky got both belts. I don't think they're going to unify them though. I think, you know, what'll happen is she'll probably have to give up one or something.